Tyrone. I just gotta get freaky for you because you love the hoes.
I don't care if they don't like me. I came here to stunt. Yeah. I don't care if they don't.
Well, what's good, everybody? So today we are going to be talking about communication with women. Women, you know, for the fellas, we know how women can get when it comes to communicating what they really want, especially when it comes to the bedroom. Yeah, so we're going to be watching a video from tonight's conversations, and a woman comes up to the panel and asks them, you know, when a man's game is weak, you know, why do they get in their feelings, and then yada yada yada. We're going to get into the business of it, alright? So without further ado, let's get into it.
Do y'all want us to tell y'all when y'all is weak? And two,
let her get the part two out real quick.
and part two is, why don't we tell them when their is weak?
I can answer part two.
I
can answer part two because a lot of their ego is tied to their sexual.
Lie. Go ahead.
A lot of their ego is tied to how they sexually perform. So when you say it's weak, it's not big enough, you're not hitting the right spots, I'm not coming. It's like a hit to their manhood.
It's definitely a hit to their manhood, but y'all don't see this often. I'm gonna say I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree. I think a lot of the times the conversations are not being had because a lot of us just do not know how to communicate with each other. Yeah. I think in real life, we're not comfortable having uncomfortable conversations.
Absolutely.
And we have to get more comfortable. If you can give your body to a person, why can you not say to that same person,
hold on.
Hey, your tastes like pee a little bit earlier.
First of all, hold the fuck on.
Hey, y'all gonna quit acting like y'all don't drip dry. Hey, y'all be drip drying.
Was she wrong, though? Was she wrong? Is she wrong, though? I don't think she's in the wrong. Her first question was, do men want to know when their D game is weak? And the second question is, why don't women tell men that their D game is weak, or that they're not hitting the right spot, or they're not climaxing? This is a wonderful conversation, and let's thoroughly break this down. The reason why y'all don't tell men, matter of fact, actually, let's deal with the first issue, right? Do we want to know whether or not our D game is weak? I personally want to know if I'm treating you right. Alright? I don't want to toot my own horn, but my D game being weak is out of question. There is no weak D game here. Alright? It just is what it is. We are Osiris. Strong. Like Osiris over here. Alright? When I have Baffy behind me, I'm pretty much flexing. It just is what it is. It is what it is. And you just have to respect that grounding, alright? I ain't tooting my own horn. I ain't saying too much. Mess around and find out. That's all I gotta say. But, do men want to know? Men generally want to know if their D game is weak? No. A man doesn't want to be told that he's not hitting the right spots. A man doesn't want to be told that he's not getting her there. A man doesn't want to be told that he ain't doing it for her. Because, as she said, as one of the women on the panel said, it deals with their ego. And when you stroke a man's ego, he'll think he's on top of the world.
Let's get back to Eden, live on top of the world. Let's get back to Eden, live on top of the world.
But when you crush that man's ego, he either going to be really depressed and bummed out, or he's going to get really angry. And a woman doesn't want to see a man that she cares about or has some type of link or connection to in those type of situations, because she might even put herself in harm's way if it gets to that point. So she gonna stroke his ego.
Oh, I ain't never had nobody do me like that. Oh, you did something. You are
all this type of stuff, stroking his ego. Not and you just strictly doing stuff in bed for man pleasure. You strictly doing stuff just to make him happy, just to get him off. And meanwhile, you putting aside your pleasure. You putting aside what you really want out of the bedroom. That is sickening. Tell that man you have not came in the last 5 times that y'all linked. Tell that man that you like your poom poom to be rubbed a certain type of way. Tell that man you like to be fingered a certain type of way. Tell that man that you like to be held this way. Tell him what are your turn-ons, what are your turn-offs. Tell him what gets you there. Tell him how he should pace it. Tell him that you like to be talked through to it. All that, everything, the whole package. There are so many things when it comes to, making love to a woman, when it comes to, getting active with a woman. It doesn't just take you learning the right strokes. It doesn't just take you penetrating her. You have to know her body. You have to know what are her nerves, what are her pinpoints. Does she like how you move around the neck? Is it her inner thigh? Is it the back of her neck? Is it down her back? I guarantee you, if you get the back of her neck and you start rubbing down her back and you start talking to her nice in her ear as you stroking inside her and rubbing on her clit and rubbing on her and making her feel nice, you won't have an issue. You won't have an issue, sir. You will not have an issue, sir. I can bet the last $5-10 in my pocket. All right. Whatever, if you listen, literally pay attention to her body. All right. When you talk to her nice in her ear and you feel her breathing deeper, you feel her gasping, you feel her getting louder, stay there. When you start touching her a certain type of way, or you start going a little faster, or whatever the case is, when she communicates with you what she wants in the moment, do it. Don't do the opposite. Now, okay, if she tells you to go faster and you feel like you about to buzz, if you feel it, okay, you're going to be like, listen. Time out. Hold on. Other than that, right, there's many different ways to get a woman there outside of penetration. And studies have shown that penetration doesn't get a woman there alone. So get into that foreplay. Literally caress her body. Treat her body right. Get her body heated. Get it warmed up before you start before you get in her, basically. Before you get in her, warm up the body, all right? I'm going to warm up my food before I eat it. Warm up the body, all right? If she says she's very sensitive around her nipples, suck on them titties. Whether they the itty bitties or the big, listen, whether they the small itty bitties or the big juggle knockers. If one of her points, and if she ever tell you or have this conversation, and she be like, yeah, there was a time where I just played with my nipples and I came. Women have told me this. Bingo, Negro, that is jackpot. Literally, jackpot. Suck on them. Rub, suck on them. Boom. She done came about 2 times like that. Then, when you put it in her, now it feels even better for her. Now she about to go back to back. Boom, boom, boom. You there. Because you're paying attention to her body. You're paying attention to what she likes. Now you up in the ranks. You in the top 3. You the OG now. She gonna be the first one. Listen, when in her head, when she get a little horny, you the first one that gonna pop up in her head. Yep. Let me call him and see what he up to. Because you done outdid yourself, Negro. You walk in the room and you come in with some toys. You done outdid yourself. Because how many men do you know, and women, you can attest to this, how many men do you know come into your bedroom, come into the bedroom with toys? I'm talking about a bag, a whole bag, from the rose to little things that might set you off or vibrate, whatever the case is. Oh, okay. You're going to be number 1, Negro. Number 1. That's all I'm saying. If you really want to get these women off, if you really want these women to go crazy for you, play it safe too, all right? Because you might just want to be hitting it a one time or a couple of times and keep it moving. So don't do it too much, because you might make her go crazy.
Let's get it on.
All right, so let me put a disclaimer. I know sometimes when I talk about these type of things, people be like, I should just do this with anybody. No. If you know that woman is very emotionally intact, or you know that a woman go crazy over Negroes, you might want to give her some B- gameplay with that. Maybe B-. You don't want to be too bad for her to be talking mess, and you don't want to be too good for her to go head over heels. Just somewhere in the middle. B- at best, all right? Somewhere there. But, getting to the second question, because I just really long-winded the first one. Getting to the second question, why don't women tell men that their D game is weak? It's because Some women literally like to stroke the ego of men. Some women have been programmed to just please and pleasure women, and that completely goes against their divine feminine energy. Now, the divine feminine energy does nurture, it does inspire, it does motivate, it does give pleasure, it counsels, it guides, it all this type of stuff. That's what the divine feminine does. It gives that divine spark within the man to motivate him to move and to act, to enforce. But the man's duty is to make sure that his wife is good, secure, that she is confined within the boundaries of her divine chaos, to give order to her chaos, to give harmony to her chaos. Some women don't want to tell a man that he's not getting her there or that he's missing something because she don't want to bring him down. She feels like she don't want to, mess up, be too much into his head or whatever the case is. No, but you don't have to be rude about it, but let the man know. So when it deals with the divine feminine, if a man does not feel inspired or motivated by his woman, she's not playing her part. If he doesn't feel like he's being nurtured, if he doesn't feel like that he is receiving enough care, from his woman, then she's not playing her part. If a woman doesn't feel secure enough to be her true, authentic self around him, he's not playing his part. If she doesn't feel provided for, I'm not talking about just financially, but I'm talking about spiritually, mentally, physically, sensually, he's not playing his part. It's time for a new casting. Time to get some call-ups or something. If he's not willing to change, if she's not willing to change, if he's not willing to take accountability, if she's not willing to take accountability, you need to keep it moving. A skedaddle. Peace. There is absolutely nothing wrong with letting a man know that, hey, I was down there and it didn't smell too right. Hey, I didn't like your stroke game. Maybe next time when we go back around this, could you do this and that? Communicate with him.
Communicate with it.
Duh. Let him know what he's doing right, what he's doing wrong. Give him constructive criticism. If he's not open to increase his sex game, you shouldn't be in bed with him in the first place. If he's not man enough or mature enough to actually take in constructive criticism, when you tell him like, hey, the way that you talk to me while we in bed, it's a little aggressive. Tone it down. Just certain things. Maybe y'all might have certain boundaries. Maybe you don't like to be choked too hard. Maybe you don't want him spitting in your mouth. Something. If he can't take that type of conversation with you, you shouldn't be in bed with him in the first place. Because if he can't take constructive criticism from you, a woman, I can only imagine the type of constructive criticism he takes from men, from his boss, from his co-workers, from people that collab with him. I can only imagine how he is around other people if he can't even take the simplest of constructive criticism of what he needs to do better in the bedroom. If he can't take that, can you only imagine how y'all will be in a relationship? When you're trying to tell him like what he's not doing right in the relationship, when you keep telling him that he's not giving you the affection that you desire. Now he gaslighting you. Now he being insecure. Now he deflecting. That's a red flag. Keep it moving. But y'all let me know how y'all personally feel about this respectfully in the comments below. All right. Let me know how y'all personally feel about the constitution. I said the constitution. Lord have mercy. Let me know how y'all personally feel about the situation at hand. All right. Before you go, we have another video on the come up too as well. Kind of concerning the basis of this, but it mostly deals with relationships. You don't want to miss that one. All right. We out.